Well, I kind of have a half a day. So what I'm going to do, because I don't have any grand ideas, I have this masterboard that I made. It's like a snippet roll continuing thing. And I've used some of it. And this is just the base. So I'm going to go through while I'm just hanging around and just embellish it with more stuff. And then who knows, maybe more creativity will flow out of that. But in the meantime, I'm just jazzing it up a little. So you can see previously I had some reds in here and I used them. So I'm going to maybe start over here and just go with some scraps and stuff that I have. Oh, that's cute, actually. When I started the 100-day challenge, I gave myself permission to use those days as even just to do the least little thing. And the reason I did that was because I was kind of getting psyched out at the thought of you know, committing to 100 days and feeling like I might not always be up to the task. And the thing with crafting is, I think you can always be up to the task as long as you're not making the task too big in your head. So like for me, I'm still crafting doing this, but it's more of a meditation and a reset than looking at the end product. So people craft for different reasons. I used to always just craft for like the end product and like, what did you make and what did you produce? And that's all well and good. But sometimes, and this is what I feel about the 100-day project, is that it's a benefit because if you look at it in the right light, or if you look at it in a certain light, you can realize that crafting is a form of self-care. Taking time for yourself is a form of self-care. And it doesn't always have to end up with something that you hang on a wall or that you have a huge long video about or that has a new process. It doesn't have to be any of those things. Oh, look at this. Look at that. I'm gonna ink that up. It could just be for your own sake and you know, not necessarily for anybody else or for a challenge or that kind of thing. I mean, how many of us have looked at a certain piece of art and been like, what is that supposed to be? And what is that? And I don't understand. And, you know, I think first and foremost, art is for the artist. So now when I'm looking at this, I feel like this is pretty full and carries through a red theme. There's some sayings in here and some black and white. I feel like this is pretty full, but it could also be accented in more purple. You've got your blues over here. And over here is kind of neutral. So when you're making one of these, you can go over as many layers as you want. So like right now I'm gluing. If I leave this and I feel like it another day, I can go back through with watercolors or acrylics or stamps. So it's just a layering and layering. And in the meantime, then if you find a spot for it in your in another creation, you just rip that piece off. So like here, I already feel like that looks pretty good over here. Brings in a little bit of purplish blue. So this is just going to be a little shorty. Hey, you're back. Black ones, you see them? All on the ground. All gangster-like.
There's one there with like
actually one crow that repeatedly comes back. And before there was a squirrel coming in and out of that purple birdhouse with nuts. And he was Blackbird was wandering around like he was like looking to see where he buried them in the yard.